I'm Harry Wu, and probably I'm the only person here reading my own memo. In 1960, 49 years ago, the day after I returned to the campus, a meeting was called. The topic of the meeting, I was dismayed to learn, was Wu Hongda. Throughout the 3-hour meeting, I was accused of being bourgeois, of leaving campus to escape criticism, and told that opinions I have voiced during the May 2 meeting that were poisonous. I attempt to defend myself to no avail. In the end, I was told to write self-criticism. I reluctantly agreed. Not long afterwards, we were dismissed for summer vacation. And from Beijing back in Shanghai, my parents urged me to cooperate with the communist government and stay out of trouble. At that time, I was 20 years old. I returned to the school in the fall to find the political atmosphere even more oppressive. More and more classmates and teachers were being labeled as a rightist. I was told my previous self-criticism was unacceptable and ordered to rewrite it. I was also ordered to hand over my personal diary. Then, in October 20th, 1957, a banner appeared outside the cafeteria. It read, Wu Hongda's counter-revolutionary crime, and went on to list a series of supposed offenses. My name was crossed out with a large red X. So now I, too, had been labeled as rightist. I still attend classes, but my free time was consumed by monitoring political class and writing summary of my thoughts. Those of us who had been labeled rightist were unsure of our fates, but could sense the harsher punishment was still to come. So could our friends and classmates, hardly anyone, were failing to speak to me anymore. Even if I had the time for baseball practice in being writing throughout the summaries. My teammates, my close friends at school made it clear I was no longer welcome. In February 1958, the writers were given their punishments. I was called into the room with 10 of my writers' classmates. We knew one classmate had been sentenced to a term in the Laogai. He had already been escorted off the campus. Of the group I was in, 5 was expelled from school and assigned to the hard labor in the countryside. The rest of us were allowed to stay in the school, but were under the supervision of the masses, unquote. From then on, I was under constant surveillance. 2 classmates their Communist Youth League was assigned to follow me everywhere, even to the restroom. The strict schedule of political classes and thought summaries continuing. And now I have to perform various other tasks as well, such as catching fires and rats. I was shunned by everyone. No one wanted to risk being seen as sympathetic to a rightist. I grew despondent. My prospects were bleak. Writers were generally given difficult work assignment in the remote areas. Nor would anyone want to marry me, and a party will not permit such a marriage anywhere. I will forever to be an outcast, spurned by the society, and yet under constant surveillance. I lost interest in my studies. I began secretly dealing with a young woman, a local nurse, sneaking off the campus frequently to visit her. I was repeatedly admonished for having campus, but no longer cared. Then in April 27, 1960, I was summoned to a meeting, one of many group criticism seasons I had attended since being labeled as a rightist. Scrawled on the blackboard were the words, quote, meeting to criticize rightist Wu Hongda, unquote. I sat quietly, head down, as my classmates take turns criticizing and denouncing me. And at 20 minutes, I was told to stand. And the leader of the meeting announced I was expelled for refusing to reform myself. Suddenly, a uniformed public security officer appeared in the doorway. He walked to the front of the room and spoke, quote, representative the People's Government of Beijing, I sentenced the counter-revolutionary writers Wu Hongda to re-education through labor, unquote. My head was swimming. How could this be happening? He held out my sentencing document and instructed me to sign. His hands were blocking the part of the document listing the charges against me. Quote, I wanted to see the accusation against me, unquote. I said to the officer, quote, it is my right to be informed of my officer, unquote. He told me that government had placed me under arrest. Whatever I signed the document or not didn't matter. I looked around the room, hoping someone will come to my defense. But no one said a word. Not knowing what else to do, finally I signed the paper without notice. I was escorted to my dormitory, collect my belongings, put in a jeep, and taken to the Beiyuan detention center. I was sentenced to life, and I was 23 years old. But the nightmare was just beginning.